Hello and welcome. Just before you think I'm winking at you, I'm not. I had some stuff in my eye in the week. It's just healing up. Come out to sort of scout some areas for camping and have a look into this pack that I've got. But this sort of scooped my plans really, because I was going to go up there and I'll do a little bit of food, a cup of tea, and show you what I've got in this. It's like I've tried to make it into like a grab and go bag that I can leave packed all the time, so I can grab it and go. Yeah, that's a fairly fresh Richard, isn't it? Because you must see that. I didn't want to step in there. You know what? I think this is as good a spot as any. We are. Oh yeah. So I come out to scout spots and ended up away from where I intended to go. But this is a nice area as well. Tried to make myself like a grab it and go bag for day camps, even night camps with traditional gear. Now the advantages of that being, there are disadvantages, I'll get to them in a minute, are being I can leave it pretty much packed, like the blankets or blanket, the gear, I can pretty much leave it packed, but take it out every now and then to air it, repair it, and check it over, re-wax, whatever. But pretty much leave it packed, have it in my car, in my home, ready to go while I'm going for a day camp. But there are cons to this as well, but the pros are, I don't know, for me, I love the feel of the traditional kit. I just love the feel of it. It's just, I don't know, it's just sturdy, good, it's gonna last you. It's got a nice authentic feel to it. It's something you can sort of maintain yourself and look after and cherish and that. And you can have a fire nearby, which I probably could here, because normally I'm in Pinewood and I feel a bit dubious about it. So you can have a fire quite close out front without too much worry. Obviously don't have flames licking on it, but yeah, they're the pros. But the cons are obviously weight, bulkiness. Depending what time of year you're going, how far you're walking, you need to bring a lot more weight to comfort ratio type thing, I think, as well. Like sleeping bags, still nylon gear is obviously lighter. But if you know, I've walked about probably 3 miles around with that today, and I can feel it a bit. That's about, what was it, I weighed it, it was 14 to 15 kilo. And it's not really designed, you know, the straps are, but with that weight it was okay, but I was starting to feel it just the last little bit. But I've got the telemark pack, so I don't know, I do want to have a pack like this that's lightweight as well, grab and go pack type thing, but I can't leave the sleeping bag in there. But it's easy enough to just add one, but you can't leave it all condensed because it loses, yeah, it loses its capabilities basically. I'll show you what I've got in here. I think I'll be alright for a night out in most conditions, depending on having a fire. I could always add an extra wool blanket. I've got a sheepskin, I could make a bedroll with that and add it on the top or the bottom. Then the weight would become even more of an issue. Okay, this is a traditional style pack, but it's not canvas. I should have got the canvas one, the Norwegian. What is that? Check what that is. Yeah, the Norwegian Bergan. I've done a video on it, and I think there's a few other people who've done videos on it. It does a job. It's not the best and most comfortable in the world. It is very comfortable if you're carrying under sort of 10, 12 kilo. There's no problem at all with it, I find anyway. But yeah, on the top I've got me half, that's me German Flecktarn tent half. And that can be used as a tent half, a poncho sort of. Well, I haven't got the hood with it, but it can be used to wrap around me. It can be used as a ground sheet. It could be used as extra insulation over me. A few uses. But before I delve into the pack, I'll just go through what I've got on the outside. Not traditional, I know, but a head torch. It's always wise to bring one, isn't it? I think everyone brings one, don't they? Don't they? And I've got me catty, a notepad and a pencil, a small first aid kit. It's not that traditional at the minute, is it? But yeah, I've got a couple of books to read. I've had these for a while and I need to go through them and read them again. These are real go-to ones. Food for Free and SAS Survival Guide. They're really good ones to go if you're into the outdoors and that. They are really, yeah, they're like staples, right? And I've seen loads of people have them. I've had mine for ages as well, but yeah, they are good. So we got a side pocket here. Basically all I've got in there is my Nalgene bottle of water. That's all I've got in there. That's self-explanatory. I could boil with that as well if I had to. Use it to boil, purify. Well, in conjunction with my shemag. Can't remember if I've brought my meal bag. And then in this one I've got cordage pegs, which I could take out and make my own. More cordage, me jungle knots and a few other bits and bobs. I've got my bush box and I've got a windshield. If I'm having a fire on the floor, I don't need the bush box and I can easily make a windshield. But if you rock up somewhere late, it's handy to have with you, I think. If you rock up late, if you can't go where you're originally going to go and you mistime things and you ain't got time to knock up and make one, then yeah, that's it's handy to have one, I think. So then that's the outside, that's the pouches, the side bits. Then inside I've got a shemag, and inside there I've got the 12cm billy can. Now I could bring a 750ml pot, or I could bring I've got a Trangia Mini. I can boil water and fry with it. This is why I was tempted to bring that, but it's got no bail. You can't hang with it, but you can sort that out. You know, there's ways around that. And in there, a little pot, little cup, which reminds me that's staying out. I'm making a cup of tea, and I've got a Trangia and some yeah, and the trivets in there, just for a quick stop off for a brew. Then in here, I've got food. This is grab and go food. This isn't like traditional style. I've got like noodles and honey, which I like to add to me tea, me posh teas. Coconut oil. These are little jam jars. Little Dewar's jam jars. I think you've got them out of Aldi. Coconut oil for cooking, moisturising and such like. And it's just food. I've got like sort of porridge in here. I've got mug shots, I've got some biltong, couscous, a few sort of cereal bars. Then in there I just got me little Yuko candle. And that's another thing, a disadvantage. I was thinking about traditional gear. You've got bug meshes and stuff like that. You might be sleeping without a bug mesh. So I think fire is a certain thing, and smoke to keep the bugs away. I've got a few citronella candles in there. I'm not sure how well they'd work in that scenario. Citronella tea lights. And I've got in this pouch, what I've got in here, yeah, that's all me like fire and water stuff. I've got a meal bank bag in there. I've got stuff for making fire and purifying water. Quite a bit of it. And a little possibles bag. But anyway, this is not so much the traditional. I bought some Greenland wax as well with this kit, and some talking of bugs, this stuff I found it works with some things, but not with everything. Nordic Summer, it's like I think it's made with pine pitch, pine tar wool and beeswax, so that's probably got multiple uses. And then I have my shelter, which I should read, and another shemag, always handy for all sorts. Used as pillowcases, used as a scarf, used as a hat, used to filter water. Yeah, all sorts. And I've got me, see that's not traditional as such because that's plastic, but yeah, that's me Mora axe, which I've mullered. I used it as a hammer and it sort of cracked the plastic a bit, but yeah, it's still, yeah, I've mullered it. And then my shelter is an 8x8, although that's just under 8x8. I've found canvas tarp. And then in here I've got my ground mat and my blanket, which I could put on the outside. And with this ground mat, it's not going to insulate you massively if it's real cold, but I could make a bough bed or something quite easily. Well, say easily, that's another disadvantage. If I turn up where I'm camping with time to do these things, it's fine. You can make it very comfortable with this stuff if you were staying somewhere for a while, but if you were on the move, then it's doable. But yeah, I could make a bough bed, or I could just lay 2 logs and fill it with leaves. Make 4 logs and just fill it with leaves and lay this on top of it, or just use boughs, pine boughs, etc. And I've got to say, it's like, as well as the stuff you got in your bag, you got what you're wearing and what you're carrying on your person as well, ain't you? You don't have to carry every item on your in your bag. Jeez, I missed a proper shelter. So if I was here for a long time, I could make it really comfortable. I've got the shelter set up. They're easy for me to say. Shelter set up there. And it's quite windy and cold today, and I know I said it for the warmth ratio, it's already made a difference for sheltering the wind. And if you do have a little fire for a little while, that does hold the heat. The old canvas gear. Lovely, sun's out. Guns are not coming out. Cold. It's there's a setup anyway. And like I said, if I was here for time, yeah, I could have a little fire there. I am going to have a little fire there, but in my bush box I'll have it slightly closer. Somewhere there, that would hold quite a lot of heat. And if I was here for time, I could make a fire reflector wall here, make one there, make one on the end. And I think I'd be cushy with just this gear. Like down there was a fallen pine branch that was green boughs on it still. And there are green boughs. I don't really like affecting the area I'm round, like sawing things off and that. Even dead stand, I don't know. But if needs must, you could, and I think that'd be a cosy setup. Obviously, night time is going to get a lot colder, and keeping the fire going would be a problem. But yeah, it's nice. I love it. You can get a similar setup with modern gear, and you probably wouldn't be as reliant on the fire and stuff. But it's just nice. I like it. Yeah, I do want to check out where I was originally going to go, so I might have a wander around next weekend. All being well, I keep having things go wrong with me. My shoulder was done in the other week. It wasn't that bad, but me tooth. God, blimey. One thing after another, but anyway, I'll crack on. I'm going to get a little bush box fire going, collect some wood, which there's plenty about, and get a brew on. I don't know whether to have something to eat or not. I think I will. I'm going to have a brew first though. Yes, Outhouse tarp. That's a wax, and then a bit of wool on the other side. That's Outhouse. Got a bit for your pillar. Put some stuff under there for your pillar, clothing or whatever. Up the other end, and yeah. Man, I can feel the heat under here already from that. It's got its pros and cons. this for a night. Obviously depend on the temperature and if I had a fire or not. But that is the thing with it, having a fire. And I'd only have a small fire probably because I can't draw loads of attention to myself here. And keeping it going all night. Man, if you could have a long fire, it'd be the best way of camping, I think, definitely, I think. But if you can't, I don't know. Wow, that was, so I have done day camp. I have camped with the sort of traditional stuff, but in what is it? Not very often I haven't just gone all traditional, but it's more of the challenge in the cold weather when you can't have a big fire. Anyway, no trace there. Not for me anyway, there's that, look. Yeah, I'm gonna test it out. I think I will bring an extra wool blanket. Well, it's like a British it's an army one. Not just British Army, it's an army surplus one. So I think it's 60-40, 60% wool, 40% synthetics, and the old sheepskin thing. And I think I'll be okay. We'll see. Or I might just leave it till it gets a little bit warmer. We'll see, we'll see how I feel. I don't know. Gorgeous, gorgeous day. It is chilly though. But yeah, I was in there when I did my Little Hours path. Somewhere in this woodland. And that was a good camp. I've seen a few people go past this path, and there is another smaller path. A similar distance to what I was up that way. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you're all good. My hat's a bit stuck to me hood. In the hood, good in the hood. Alright, anyway, thank you, bye bye.